sometimes if you're building an application that has a file upload in it, you might want to let people preview their file upload before the file actually goes up to the server. It seems kind of complicated though. Let's mash on that. Hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Asp.Net Monsters. In today's episode, I'm just going to do a quick demo of how to preview a file for people before they upload it. I'm trying to remember how to make my font size a little bit bigger too. There we go. So what I have here is a standard Vue 3 application, and it just has a text box on it, or a file choosing box where you go and choose a file that you want to upload. Now I ran into this the other day with an application where people would be choosing images to upload, and because they were on a phone and because of some weird stuff with EXIF headers, sometimes that file ended up upside down when we took it back and displayed it, or like offset by 90 degrees or something weird like that. So I spent some time digging into how those headers work and couldn't figure out any good solution to the problem. So it seemed like it would be easier to just present people with like a file preview and the ability to like rotate their image until it was the right way up. So the first step in that was to just be able to create a file preview. So this is a Vue application, but this honestly would work inside of any application. It's basically just plain HTML behind the scenes. So all that we need to do is just create a file input, and then you're going to listen in on the change event on that file input. So for Vue it looks like this. For React, I don't know, it's going to be some crazy thing. So we'll focus on Vue for now. So basically I'm just saying anytime this thing changes, call the change event, and the change event up here takes in the event, and I'm just going to take a look at the event target to see if there are any files associated with it. Now what I should probably do is limit the file types here to be only images, so it's like accept page star, I think will work for that. So that when people go and choose a file, it's going to limit it to image files as opposed to before where they could just pick any file. So once it's kind of selected, we're going to fire this event here, and we're going to create this object URL. So this is URL.create object URL based on that file. And this is just basically going to read the file and turn it into a data URL. And then down here, I'm just going to display that as the source property for that image. So again, this could be done in React as well, but this is what it looks like inside of Vue. So when I go and choose a file, it's going to display it on the screen right away for me, which makes this really easy for people.
Simon, was that the alternate monster that was going to be used before we got the blue monster for you, or was that?
Yeah, so this is Gengar, a Pokemon, I think. Dave is nodding along. Do you know the Pokemon, Dave? No.
Not at all.
So one of the teams that I work on, the sprints that we do are named after Pokemon, so I always have whatever the appropriate Pokemon is as my background image.
A scary looking sprint.
It is. It wasn't intentionally scary, but somebody sent me a scary version of the Pokemon, so we ended up with that. But yeah, so this is a really easy way to do this. And then for the other application that I was working on with rotating the image, I was just using CSS transforms to rotate this image around. So I just had some buttons that people could click on that would rotate the image around to the appropriate one. And then when I upload it, I just upload a property that just gives a percentage or a number of degrees that I'm going to rotate the image by when it gets redisplayed.
So when you capture the file name here, what is Vue doing, or what is the browser doing with the image? Because you haven't yet uploaded it to the server, so this is still client side.
That's right. Yeah. So this isn't. I actually made it up to the server. I don't even have a server behind this demo application.
Right.
It's just going to preview it in the browser for people, and it works on pretty much anything the browser can preview.
Awesome. And so does it actually, I'm just kind of interested as to what's happening in the background. Can you hit the inspection tools and just look at the property of the URL for that image, or the source for that image?
Sure can. So it is uploaded as or it is allocated as a blob. So
Okay.
I would imagine that behind the scenes, somewhere in the bowels of the browser, it has taken that image and it has converted it, or it's surfaced it as this like blob URL here.
Right.
So there is an
And just
action link.
hosting it internally,
Yes.
kind of idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
Alright. So I mean, it's a simple like 2-line change if you want to let people preview images, which seems really helpful for them.
Yeah, right on.
Cool.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us on today's episode. Remember to like, comment, and share, and we'll see everybody next week.
Thanks,
Bye.
Simon. Cheers.